Just 1 mile from the White House, one of the world's biggest sports events, the World Cup draw, is about to unfold. But unlike traditional football ceremonies, this one carries a distinctly political tone. The venue, the guests, the planning, the performances, even the awards, everything hints at more than just football. It suggests a partnership, an alignment, and perhaps an agenda. At the center of this unusually political moment stand two powerful figures: U.S. President Donald Trump and FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Their increasingly visible alliance has raised questions across the sporting world. Is this collaboration strategic, harmless, and beneficial? Or is it a concerning merger of sports and politics? Today, we take a detailed look at the bond critics say is too close for comfort. The World Cup draw is usually a festival of football, nations, players, fans, and global excitement. But this year's event, held at the Kennedy Center in Washington, feels unusually political. This is the famous arts venue now chaired by President Donald Trump, following his decision earlier this year to overhaul and restructure its board. For many observers, that alone adds a layer of political significance to an event traditionally known for neutrality. Alongside football stars and celebrities, the ceremony will include U.S. President Donald Trump, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney. All three leaders represent the co-hosting nations of the upcoming World Cup. But among them, Trump's presence seems especially emphasized. The entire event appears structured with him in mind. The musical performance? The 1970s group Village People, performing YMCA, a classic favorite at Trump rallies. And in a major break from tradition, the ceremony will feature the awarding of a new honor, the FIFA Peace Prize. According to widespread expectation, Trump will be its first recipient. This announcement alone has triggered debate around the world. Critics see it as FIFA stepping openly into politics, rewarding a leader whose global reputation and policies have been heavily contested. But there's more to it, and it begins with Infantino himself. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has publicly praised Donald Trump multiple times. Recently, he even suggested Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for his involvement in the Israel-Gaza ceasefire discussions. Infantino spoke enthusiastically about Trump's policies and efforts. For many observers, this praise felt unusually strong for the head of a supposedly neutral global sports organization. The FIFA statutes emphasize political neutrality and warn against using football for political purposes. Yet, the gestures around this World Cup draw, from entertainment choices to the creation of a peace prize, appear to move football closer to political messaging. Critics claim this alliance has gone beyond cooperation. They argue FIFA seems to be aligning itself with the Make America Great Again, MAGA movement, whether intentional or not. The timing is particularly sensitive. Just days before the ceremony, Trump described Somali immigrants as garbage, drawing widespread condemnation. This has left many asking whether it is wise for FIFA to associate so closely with a leader who continues to attract controversy through his remarks and policies. Despite the criticism, Infantino insists that football must engage with global leaders. He maintains that football influences society, business, and global harmony, and therefore conversations with political leaders are necessary. Infantino argues his meeting with Trump was not political but essential for representing football on the global stage. However, his explanation has not cooled concerns. Instead, every new development adds more intensity to the scrutiny. One such development was FIFA's decision to establish a new office in Trump Tower in New York, a choice that shocked many in the sports community. For critics, this symbolized a deepening partnership, not just a simple administrative decision. Then came another moment that raised eyebrows: Infantino's surprise appearance at a high-level summit in Egypt. The summit brought together Trump and several world leaders to sign a peace declaration for Gaza. Infantino was the only sports leader present at the event. He insisted football could contribute to peace and pledged that FIFA would help rebuild football facilities in Gaza. But critics called the timing and setting problematic, arguing that Infantino's presence again placed FIFA within a political environment far beyond its declared neutrality. For President Donald Trump, the World Cup is far more than a sporting event. It is a stage, a global stage, arriving at an ideal moment in his second presidency. Hosting the World Cup provides Trump with global visibility, a chance to project leadership, a massive celebratory platform ahead of America's 250th independence anniversary. Economic and tourism momentum for a recovering U.S. market. Trump has called the World Cup an incredibly significant economic opportunity for the United States. FIFA estimates the tournament will generate £22 billion for the U.S. economy, create almost 200,000 jobs. After a sluggish year for U.S. tourism, these figures are politically valuable. And with the Los Angeles Olympics and Paralympics coming in 2028, Trump wants the world to see that the U.S. can deliver major global events flawlessly. For Trump, this World Cup blends politics, legacy, economy, and global image, a combination no president would overlook. On the other side stands Gianni Infantino, whose motivations are rooted in power, revenue, and strategic influence. The World Cup is the most financially powerful sports event on Earth. With the U.S. market size and deregulated environment, this edition will be the most lucrative in FIFA's history. A major factor driving revenue is FIFA's official ticket resale platform, through which it collects a staggering 30% commission on every transaction. Fan groups have condemned this policy. They argue, fans are being exploited. Prices do not represent the true spirit of the World Cup. Commercial priorities are overshadowing supporter interests. Despite fan concerns, the financial benefit to FIFA is enormous. The organization expects a record-breaking £10 billion for the 2023 to 2026 cycle. These numbers matter for Infantino for several reasons. They strengthen his presidency. They increase his influence within global football. They boost his chances of securing a third re-election in 2027. For Infantino, the partnership with Trump appears strategic. The U.S. market provides profits. The visibility strengthens his role. The alliance helps achieve long-term institutional goals. Both leaders benefit. But critics warn the cost may be football's independence. FIFA has a long, troubled history of political entanglements. In recent years, Infantino emphasized repeatedly that football should stay out of politics. Yet, his actions, the Trump Tower office, the Peace Prize, the Egypt summit appearance, the praise for Trump, have created a pattern that many say contradicts FIFA's neutrality commitments. The concern is not just optics. It is about the future. Will FIFA be viewed as politically biased? Will its global credibility decline? Will the World Cup become a platform for political agendas instead of unity? Will supporters lose trust in the institution? These questions intensify as the Trump-Infantino relationship becomes more visible. While leaders exchange praise and publicity, ordinary supporters experience the consequences. Fan groups around the world argue that FIFA's decisions are becoming more profit-driven than fan-driven. The ticket resale commission has caused outrage. Many believe the World Cup is becoming financially inaccessible for average fans. They fear traditional supporters will be priced out. Corporate audiences will dominate stadiums. Football culture may shift from community-driven to commercialized. This increases suspicion that political alliances and economic motives are shaping FIFA's priorities more than the sport itself. As the World Cup approaches, the relationship between Trump and Infantino will face inevitable tests. Political tensions may rise. Media scrutiny will intensify. Public criticism is likely to grow. But one thing is clear. Both leaders see this alliance as mutually beneficial. Trump gains prestige and a global stage. Infantino gains revenue and strategic support. However, the risk lies in the perception. If FIFA is viewed as aligning with a divisive political figure, the organization's reputation may suffer on a global scale. FIFA must decide whether the benefits of this partnership outweigh the cost of public trust. As the draw ceremony begins at the Kennedy Center, the world watches closely. Because this event is no longer just about football. It is about power, influence, reputation, and the direction of the world's most popular sport. Is Trump and Infantino's relationship too close for comfort? Critics say yes. Supporters see opportunity. But the final judgment will come from the global football community, the fans, nations, and observers who define the spirit of the sport. If you found this deep review informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming analyses.